It defaulted to the Dark Sun Session 0 details, the first ever live stream I'd done via YouTube, and immediately started. It went live immediately as well.
Oh, there's a global services issue going on today. Like Google and Microsoft and Meta are all getting hit with all sorts of issues. So that you may be
that explains things.
Jamie, is this your attempt to avenge yourself on the Greeks gone horribly wrong? You paid a black hat hacker, didn't you?
Yeah, it feels like YouTube's just responded with, "No, you're going to Athos. Come to the dark deserts and die."
Yeah, I guess that's what we're playing today. So I have, but yeah, it also had gone live automatically. So all those slurs that you were saying, they're all on stream. I've deleted the stream.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I turned the video cam on and everyone was on the stream. You're all caught in your undies.
Naked slurs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Owen, I saw something quite entertaining on Reddit recently on a book subreddit. I can't remember which one, but it was someone posted something along the lines of here's a picture of E.R. Edison's The Worm Ouroboros, and he said, I've been looking through my mum's old books recently, and I found this one that I read as a kid. What a great novel. And then some people were getting really angry in the comments thinking that it was self-promotion. And someone else had to respond saying, no, this guy's mum is, despite the phrasing, this guy's mum is not the famed 1920s male fantasy author E.R. Edison.
Oh dear. Oh, goodbye.
Hello again.
I returned to voice because Discord has also had problems to say that all that stuff Jamie was saying, not just about ER, but that I know what you're saying, but also all the stuff you're saying about being like in his underwear on camera, that is all on YouTube now.
Nice. Good.
Because it has just gone straight live again. Welcome to Gutter Stars. This is Spelljammer actual play where YouTube is being hacked by the Brazilians, the Russians, somebody. And so wanted us to play Dark Sun tonight, but Jamie was crying about it. He's not in a good place right now. So we're playing Spelljammer instead.
Yeah. Although I think we're about to not be in a very good place in Spelljammer.
One way or another, yeah. So yes, we actually played ages ago, basically because we had an unfortunate one where it just seemed like apart from Tom and I, everyone was busy right at the last minute last time. So we had to cancel, but we are back. I was then on holiday, but we are back now, and no one's going to remember what happened, but I will still say, does someone want to sum up what happened last time?
All that I remember is that we got through loads of encounter checks our way to, I don't even remember where we were going, and then I rolled a 1, and then I rolled a bunch of other dice, and now
we did that encounter check. That encounter check, there were a bunch of grey scavers that came and were like bothering you, and then you like dropped a cloud kill, but in your wake, so the inertia would just have it drift onto them.
Yes, yeah.
And that was a 1 in 20 check, and then the immediate next encounter check was Andrew rolling a 1 in 20 check. So yeah, a fairly improbable pair of results.
At one point, we were talking about the edge of the crystal sphere, so I don't know if we've actually reached it, but we were discussing.
You were. I think because of I have a separate non-Google related tech issue. My smartphone black screen today, which is what I use for Discord. So I'm on Discord on my laptop, but it means that my ancient laptop doesn't really like handling multiple things at once. So I will not be looking at Roll20 much tonight, other than to change screens if you survive and you get out of the.
Yeah, so if anyone's watching this, please don't dob us in if you see us lie about what we rolled on the Roll20 checks.
Well, we're gonna roll in Discord. I've got a second scene set up with Discord, so everyone will know it's for real.
Oh, is it dice cam?
It's digital dice cam. I still haven't managed to convince my PC to recognise my webcam for probably extremely boring reasons. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, we have Discord roles in the stream now. So.
All right, nice.
Yay.
Roll a D100 to demonstrate. Oh, if I can remember. Is it just /R? Is it just roll?
I have no idea.
You just type D and then whatever it is. If you just type D with D100, you'll do it.
Nice, got it.
The one you've linked up, is it the miscellaneous dice rolls?
Yeah, miss
channels?
dice rolls. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just showing the chat pane. So, as long as you're all happy with your Discord names, the nicknames we've got on here on there.
Yeah.
Owen, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Just so you know.
Yeah, I think it's his laptop.
Yep,
Is
he was
decided, like doesn't like Discord at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see my name flashing now, so you should be able to see me.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like what that. As I say, I've got some potentially separate tech issue with Discord, but it might be to do with the wiring mics and stuff. We'll just see. We'll get through this eventually. It'll be the least technically competent stream ever. But to be fair, there are a lot of very bad streams out there. Like when even D&D ones, but especially when it's just stuff from like 15 years ago, where people or 10 years who've just started to get the idea of live streaming or whatever else. And it's not just the tech quality, like the mic or whatever, but it's just everything about the setup doesn't really work. And I feel like we're one step up on that.
Yeah. At least got the right tooling. Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, it all works.
But just one step.
We do have a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Our era of technical competence is like 9/11 has just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. You watch our stream and you think these are the guys who were like using satellite footage to track the Taliban in 2002, aren't they? That's their level of expertise.
That's true. I've made a mistake. We should probably change the subject quickly before we get demonetized.
Yeah. Back to whatever the hell's going on in Gutter Stars. What's the encounter check?
I spoke on the live stream. Tom, I did watch that in our other thread with Jay. I did watch that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip, which is like about the third clip I've ever watched by that, which is where the bad guy wrestler is called Talibomb.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there's if you remember in the early seasons of Archer, their spy agency was called ISIS.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then they had to change the name.
Watching people like try to watch that show now, and they're like, "Wait, is that intentional? Did they do that on purpose?" Which obviously they didn't.
Yeah.
Because it predated that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get why people have an issue with my ice cream van I'm running. I name it, ICES. People want to, have
ICs.
Yeah. Just selling ices.
Multiple of an ice. Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah.
It seems like a nice name.
It's just cool still that the brand name is that other famous ice cream related thing, Caliphate. Anyway.
Yeah. I opened up just opposite Alan's snack bar, actually.
Great. Good. These are serious political issues, and as we've said before, we are happy to side with whoever wants to actually sponsor this channel. Yep. No one ever has.
Not actually breaking any Geneva Conventions or international laws. But
we wouldn't do that. We will justify you doing it, but we will not do that.
Yeah, sure.
International guidelines.
Yeah, but outside of that, we are so open and welcoming that whatever the ethnicity or religion or political affiliation, you can sponsor our stream and we will support you.
Yeah.
We will misinterpret.
I am not affiliated with the gentleman.
National laws for you.
This is because Andrew will only support vicious dictatorships. So he's like, look, we need to be clear.
Naturally, yes.
It's only vicious dictatorships. Yeah. It's why, yeah, it's why he supports Canada, budum dum tish, or something. I don't know who, you know, whichever way the joke works today.
They're under the monarchy, so obviously that's why it counts.
Exactly. So, yes, last time we had got this on stream that you had encountered the grey scavengers, you'd cloud killed them. Some would say completely, you know, OTT response, like absolutely wipe out these poor little scavengers. But it got rid of them. It worked. That was what I was saying about chat names. Sorry, but I think this is when my voice cut out. Simon has his Dark Sun chat name from a year and a half ago. That he's never changed.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, he's like, tonight I'll be playing AD&D2e. YouTube wants us to play Dark Sun. Yeah. So
the atheist walks into our session.
Yeah.
Confused.
But yes, what you'd finished on, we'd said you'd roll 2 1 in 20s in a row, 2 5% chances in a row, which is quite unlikely. And then, yes, the second one, you had seen a Dromond arise, you know, come into, I guess it's at the 10 hex range, which is what you see people at. What you drop to tactical speed and see a Dromond. A Dromond is a type of, it's a kind of a land-borne ship, like a tradesman. Looks a bit like a normal ship, but a Dromond actually is like a just ship that could sail on water. Big.
Sorry, we're seeing a ship that's designed for land, and we're in space.
I think
space.
You think you mean you don't mean land? You mean like on a
For sea, a sailing ship, yeah, a sailing ship.
Okay.
Because I mean, you'll have seen this before. You'll have seen galleons and longships and stuff before, in the Rockaball and elsewhere. Because basically, yes, sailing ships can, as long as they have access to something that can get them to space and a helm and stuff, can go to space because they have the right kind of dimensions and function in the right way.
Do you think they can move up and down just by moving the oars like up and down rather than side to side in like a really cartoonish fashion?
Like flapping.
Well, they could create a small amount of inertia that way. Yeah, they couldn't go very fast that way. Yeah, as in mean terms, you know, you need the helm or an equivalent like gnomish furnaces or dwarven furnaces or series helms or life helms or whatever to because you need magical energy of some kind. But yeah, you can use inertia. Inertia exists in magical space. That is still a feature of physics that exists.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you were giving us a bit of a lore drop that I was interrupting.
Yeah, and you're like, wait, what do you mean a ship? So yeah, it is a 2-sailed ship with oars, single-decked. It is as I say, a groundling ship, and you are quite some distance away from it at this point. So, like, I think is it 3,000 yards or whatever.
So either a ghost ship, or like or it's like the Spelljammer equivalent of like guys who ride really expensive, old-fashioned cars, like I can't.
It's a classic car guy.
Triumph or something. Yeah, is the equivalent of that.
Yep. Great. So, what do you think you want to do?
Sorry, do we see any people aboard from where we are?
You can see figures from a distance. Yes.
Yeah, we should really invest in a spyglass since we have normally.
Yeah. Quite an investment.
More or less every session you're like, do we know what it is? Not really, because it's like it's a mile away and you don't have a spyglass. Oh, okay.
Spyglasses are
so you can kind of see a figure. Yeah, you can see
They're
a figure.
really expensive.
They're really
They are
expensive.
really expensive.
Yeah, they're like.
Does anybody
I
else
learned
have
because my
Can
son's
you-
bought Minecraft
Can someone
on the
grab some
Xbox.
flags?
I have learned copper is valuable for making spyglasses.
Copper is.
So if you want to mine some copper, then
Let's start a copper mining operation in East Africa.
yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So yes, you can see that there are figures on the deck.
Does anybody have a way of signaling them? Like, can someone speak semaphore? Do like a little signal?
I might
We got-
have
If we
signaling.
did get closer, I could use message, which would I think you breathe in the space anyway, so that wouldn't be relevant if we're close enough to use that. But
So Ichabod can try and communicate with them if you want.
all right, I can ask my genie.
Is this a metaphor, Ichabod, for like summoning a demon?
I think it's more what he might choose to communicate with them would be the concern.
"Quote unquote" communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should ask. Like if they're not, are they flying a flag with a skull and crossbones on it? We should.
Yeah, because if they're pirates, they have to, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, we should talk.
Are they all dressed
only
as
fair.
ladies and pretending to be dead? In which case, they're definitely pirates.
Let's get.
How ruffled are their shirts?
Either that, or they're off to.
Yeah. How many cravats have they got on
Or
them?
they're just having a great party.
I just need to get a book, and then I'll tell you what flag you see, because you'll see a flag up.
Okay.
So let me get a
Yeah,
book.
if you have a way of communicating to them, if Ichabod can talk, then we should probably.
I mean, he's just going to talk to them about his religion. That's what he's going to do.
I mean, speak from a distance, like so we don't have to pull up to them. We can like.
Yeah,
a
how
distance
far are you
walk.
able to be heard?
Well, he's got a grappling hook.
Look, I've got a genie. Can I just send him over?
Yeah, I was hoping for something long distance, like.
No, he's got nothing that good. He's a complete hustler. He's got a bandolier of potions. I can't remember what those are at all.
Yeah, let's use the genie. Have the genie fly over, say, "Hey, what do you want?"
Yeah, I'll do that. I just tried to look through the chat. I can't remember what his name was.
Oh, the genie.
Yeah.
It wasn't something really dramatic. It was like a really kind of crazy name.
Yeah, it was like, Lord Windius or something. Oh yeah, that's what it's called. The Iron Tornado.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of wrestler name, isn't it?
It is,
the Iron Tornado,
or like a legend of some like Chinese hero, like the Iron Tornado,
Definitely, yeah.
like a mythological.
Character
I mean,
from the water
I
line.
guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
What was this? By the way, what was out and back? What was Ichabod's theoretical ability?
He was
to
going to just try
communicate?
and chuck his grappling hook.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to try to
It
board
basically
them.
nothing.
Would you like me to communicate with them by killing them? Sorry, what did you say, Ichabod? Nothing. Why is everyone so negative about my ideas?
Yeah.
We're gonna send the Iron Tornado to be our representative.
Yeah.
He should be able to fly over there and say, "What do you want?"
Yeah, I'll ask him to do that.
From now on, just every time send that whilst fleeing in the opposite direction. Is it is the flag is one that the Major will recognise as belonging to the gift company that you communicated with all the way back in the first adventure you undertook, the gift mercenary companies.
Oh, yes. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Mercenaries, what can go wrong?
They're friendlies, yeah.
Amazing.
I'd imagine so.
Well, I mean, unless they're being paid to kill us, they're friendly, but you know.
Yeah. They're very friendly whilst they're killing you because they like you, but they've been hired to kill you. But yes.
Assuming we're not important enough to pay to kill, they're friendly.
Who would want to kill us?
Do you think you're important to want to kill?
No, we're lovable.
Yes, but I have a massive ego.
Agamor's platoon Agamor's platoon.
That sounds familiar.
More properly known as the 18th Detached Light Dismounted Horse Reinforced. It's unclear what horses they've ever had or from which they have dismounted. Being GIF.
They dismounted a long time ago and never remounted.
Yep.
Yeah. They
They dismounted by crushing the horse beneath them.
Yeah, the horses
are
were
you-
crushed so far into the ground that they just buried them there. They just covered
Yeah.
the top of it.
Yeah,
and that was
it's
it.
actually quite efficient.
Yeah,
What's your course? I guess it is. I guess Vil is probably piloting. So, Beej, what course are you taking? Whilst the Iron Tornado goes out in front of you.
I think I would attempt to just not necessarily run away from them, but just keep our distance until we hear what they want.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense. So yeah, kind of probably
Somewhat matching their
technically.
no, so that they don't close on us as quickly as they want.
So yeah, I guess unless they're coming straight at you, you are not actually massively closing range. Makes sense. Yeah, the Iron Tornado will go over. You'll see as he approaches. You'll see some presumably kind of weaponry moving on deck, and you'll also see a kind of flash on the deck. He will approach. He will stop, and then after a short time, will start heading back towards you. When he arrives, he will report that Agamor's platoon is stopping any, basically looking for pirates and bounties escaping the system in this direction. So yeah, that is what the Iron Tornado will report. And he'll say they are obviously they are GIF on deck. They're pretty well armed, and they had some magical items as well.
So does that mean they're demanding that we stop so they can check us or something?
Well, yeah, they want to know that you are not a bounty. Are you a bounty?
I feel like they're speaking as though they're an entry in a D&D module or something. Like, yes, we have 2 magic items, 4 random large gems, and 5d6 times 100 gold pieces with us. If you're wondering.
Yeah. If you're looking to rob us, this is how much you have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have any fugitives with us, I'm pretty sure.
Well, we got our small furry friends, but they're not fugitives by crime. They're just fugitives by,
Well, they came with you to go and spread their disgusting gremlin. What's the creatures that turn into gremlins? They're disgusting that-like creature across the galaxy.
Gizmo.
Gizmos, yeah. They're not called gizmos. That is the individual is called Gizmo.
The individual is called Gizmos, and yeah.
Gizmai.
Gizmoi.
What were they called? The furry creatures we had from the dwarf place. They were like running around the events. The chatter, yeah. Yeah.
They're not fugitives. We agreed to take them off their place. And these ones agreed to stay with us.
They were obviously briefly not wanted on the dwarven place, but that's because they didn't know their chatter. And in fact, it was good that you hadn't killed them because it meant that because they're good eggs, so it would have been an albatross kind of situation.
Yeah.
I suppose we could stop and talk to them, especially because the major knows you interact with these guys before. So you could say hello.
Yep.
Pick up some rumors.
Maybe they would know they have information about other fugitives or whatnot.
What do you mean other fugitives? We're not fugitives.
Right, exactly.
Do you know about any other fugitives who aren't us? What do you mean? Are you fugitives? No, of course not. Why would you think we're fugitives? I didn't say we're fugitives.
Are they gonna have a problem with a scrow on board?
Ichabod. Leave.
Ichabod, maybe you should go to below.
He wants to tell
Kawakami
them-
is. I could throw him off the ship.
Actually, here's our chance to get rid of them. But if they want to take them, we just sort of step away.
That would make sense.
But yes, Kawakami. Do you go below the ship? I guess.
Oh no! Of course.
I mean, by below the
Ichabod.
ship, I mean.
Ichabod doesn't. Of course he doesn't. He's a zealot. You know, he wants to talk to
Yeah.
these people all
I
about the
will-
Great Toad.
Take Ichabod's favorite food and place it below deck,
It's not
leaving
doesn't
like a
care about that.
cartoonish trail.
Well,
The Ichabod's the guy who's like, he says to them, look, don't worry, I also oppose gross civilization and religion because I have something superior. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
exactly.
okay, that sounds interesting. So obviously he's kind of on our side. Then he's like, I believe in the toad who sleeps.
I'm pretty sure he only opposes gross civilization because he thinks all civilizations will be destroyed soon.
Yeah.
Well, they will eventually be destroyed. This is an incredibly chill apocalyptic cult.
Yeah. It's the apocalyptic cult where it's about being patient. You know, it's
Yeah.
critical.
Yes. One
It
day
actually
we
makes them
will
like
travel
really good at like games, really good at financial planning.
So I guess I will decide to slow down and let them catch up
Yeah.
to us.
So you're going to slow, you'll head towards them, and I guess flag them. I guess Major, I think you're on deck for talking to them.
Oh boy! That was not the same accent
they
it used to be.
they look with surprise at a fellow GIF on another ship, and they kind of look at his stripes and say, "Oh, Major in a support division. Fine service, I'm sure." They will automatically trust him. Qua his, military. A GIF would never lie about his rank, would he?
Oh no!
They're aware that it's a kind of you're in the support services, and they'll say that they are the guy on deck, the duty lieutenant will say he's checking ships. They're checking ships coming out via the gate in this way, in this direction that goes into the flow, because they have a number of bounties out, some of which you'll have heard about. Actually, I think they'll be on your list. I should say they'll be able to name the stuff you heard about at Bar Sinister. They'll say they are basically checking. They'll also say they have. There is a very dangerous pirate out there called Kane, who I don't think you've heard about. But yeah, there's a very dangerous pirate out there called Kane,
Khan.
Khan. From Hell's Heart, I spit at thee. For hate's sake, I stab my. What is it? For hate's sake, I.
Bite my thumb at thee.
It's Moby Dick, not Romeo and Juliet. But yeah.
Yes.
So yes, he'll explain this. He says, if you see this guy, he's like a black flag sailing guy. Says just avoid him. He says even we're not meant to engage him, track his movements if we encounter him. But he says, but we think we could take him.
We could take him.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
So yes, he'll ask if you have any of these fugitives on board. He says it's not a ship. Yours is not a ship, that's on their list to detain. But do you have any fugitives on board? And also, just what's your further business? If they can give any advice.
I don't know of any fugitives on board. I assume we don't.
Everyone looks at Ichabod.
Say that. That's like, just say no. Is it that? Is it so
You
hard?
told me if you were a fugitive, right, dear boy?
I'm not a fugitive.
That's good enough for me. Whoa! The bomb.
No one has ever convicted me of a crime.
Yes.
Ichabod says.
Running from my heart.
No, we don't.
For love.
We don't do
chasing
crime.
my dreams.
We're against crime.
Yeah.
I say to the gift, let me tell you about the return of the great fugitive.
Nope.
The
Nope.
slumbering toad at the end of time.
At the
How
end
could
of
you
time.
call our Lord and Savior a fugitive?
A fugitive from being awake.
It's more sort of pretending to be a worship of Ramenos just to shut Ichabod up. Yes,
Look,
very
he doesn't
interesting.
seem like Cthulhu. He's just so ugly and squelchy and lazy. He looks like he's asleep, but he's more like a sloth. Okay, there's a different theological thing going on here. You must understand.
Yeah. It's like a cult of laziness rather than of chthonic entities waiting to devour the universe.
Yeah.
I did. Jamie, did you see my video about abhumanity in weird fiction? On the note of that.
Oh, actually, I've been meaning to watch that. I think that's one of the few recent ones I haven't seen.
Yeah. On that note, because it covers some of what we've talked about, as in you and I have talked about, actually to do with
nice.
like the anxieties being dealt with by early modernist writers. Writing about.
Oh, actually, has anyone read the Clark Ashton Smith story, The Rings of Saturn? I think it's called.
Yes.
Nope.
No.
It's very good. It's very, very funny. It's on his comedic side, but it still works like plot-wise and everything.
It's still horrifying and dark, but you know.
Yeah, but if you like the Sothogawa stuff, then obviously that's a great one for it in terms of.
So Simon probably loves it then, given Ramenos.
Yeah,
to be clear, everyone, Ramenos is Sothoga. Great. In fact, that was Simon was like, I want my in another campaign said I want my cleric to worship Sothoga, and I was like, well, the official in-universe analogy is Ramenos, god of the Bullywugs, which is where all this comes from.
Oh, right, yeah. Of course.
I play it again and again and again.
Yep. Great. So they'll ask, what's your forward business, just in case they can offer any advice on it.
What is our forward business, guys? I forgot why we were here. I've been on holiday.
We're traveling to
We're mapping. Are we mapping an area of space or something, or is that mission complete? Yeah, we're mapping an area of space. That's what we're here.
Yeah. You're mapping the system around Iron Piece, and then you're going on to, to check other systems. I think you also did have a couple of. You had like treasure map for another system and some other stuff. I think you decided that now you had a Phlogiston capable ship. You wanted to go and adventure in the Phlogiston rather than do more stuff in Brawl Space.
Yeah, I just can't remember if we had a specific reason for leaving Brawl Space.
Well, I think it was to go to Grey Space, wasn't it?
Okay.
Which,
was there a reason
ultimately
for Grey Space?
Well, was there? The other guys need to be making notes. So this is
Yeah.
classic
Yeah,
player
Grey
stuff.
Space. Lots of eco-brutalist architecture we've been meaning to have a look at. Yeah, I remember there was that mapping.
At the point, you're so not getting paid, are you? You'll come back and be like, we've got some maps, and the map guy will just be like, yeah, great. Here's like 10 gold for all the maps, and you're like, yeah, I guess we don't actually know what we're supposed to be doing, so we can't really.
Maps, like covered in like crosses and skulls as they like danger, evil, don't go here, run away, save yourself.
Yeah.
It's all just monsters that run away from during random encounters.
Yeah. Plus some like poor dead scabbers who've been cloud killed, floating upside down in the void.
I think you mean heroically slaughtered by our feats of mystical arts.
Yeah.
But you have to romance the spell up a bit.
That sounds like, I know Kujal doesn't have magic. That sounds like Kujal explaining what's happened.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a magical space fart. It was a gasionic mystical attack.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't smell methane in space.
Yeah.
What?
What?
In space, no one can hear you fart.
I could you said spell. I was very confused.
I mean, if you fart in magical space, then they will dissipate. It will briefly form an atmosphere.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to say, it's different in our little planetary romance we're having.
Yeah, but it dissipates eventually. It'd be by default foul as well. I think it'd be automatically foul there.
So it doesn't join your air bubble, it joins your air bubble.
Well, anyone who farts, but so your air fouls over. Is it 2 months or whatever at normal or something like that? Your air fouls based on presumably on kind of oxygen carbon dioxide exchange and you farting.
But if my cleric
Exactly.
is a cleric of the goddess of love, the air should be. It should take like twice as long to foul, right? Because it's usually smelling of roses and petals and.
Is this what will make the specialist priesthood of Freya finally appealing, given it's like really, really weak? It specifically has the ability to like mean that air fouls at half the rate.
Yeah. Like
Because
trust
of
me, guys.
roses.
I'm just running a really specialized build here. It's worth it in the long run.
I was going to say, it is a thing you can get away with in stable play in the way we play AD&D at least. Is that you're like, yeah, you could just have a bunch of people who are just good at one thing, and then you're like, look, we just use them for that. It's a lot more viable, where obviously if you're like, no, there's one character, that character has to always be useful. You get that in Traveller. As I've played Traveller with Andrew, Traveller really helps that way, classic Traveller, because your character will be good at one thing, maybe two things, and that will be it.
Yeah, we should have a thief like that who just only levels up like pickpocketing or something, and it's just Dave who just hangs around town, and we just use him to steal stuff whenever we visit.
Yeah, I was going to say you could definitely have a find remove traps expert who is just like a guy who's really into model railways or something who stays at your stronghold, and then you get him to come out and he brings his little toolkit with him.
Yeah, the +2 autism bonus, and then like he just solves everything.
Hey,
it's at least a +5 bonus. Great. So yes, you will. I guess that they'll let you pass on. That could have been given that I rolled their race tonight and got GIF. I think the result below was by if it had been a result 1 different or something or 2 different, it would have been Beholder. So
a ship full of beholders.
Beholders attempting to kill you.
We'd be dead.
I mean, they might not want to kill you, but Beholders, like in Spelljammer, obviously, it's a funny thing that these big evil hegemonies, like the Illithids, the Neogi, somewhat. The Neogi are pretty bad, and the Beholders are bad, but to different degrees. They are accepted as people who fly around the stars. The Neogi are, I think, seen as the most antagonistic, and the ones who are like on Brawl, they're allowed to dock, but they're sort of encouraged to stay on their ships and use servants and slaves or bring people to them. Whereas the Illithids have an embassy on Brawl. They are very lawful, very reliable, decent, with one specific cultural difference. And who are we to judge cultural differences?
Yeah, just you can't judge a people simply by their cuisine.
Yeah. Otherwise,
you probably
French even more than the Illithids. So yes, I guess you'll come up to the gate in the crystal sphere, which will open as you approach it. It kind of shifts open and creates a space large enough for you to fly through. Beyond, you see a luminous mist, or some. That's probably what it looks like from here. A luminous mist.
The great gas clouds of Remanos.
Yes, the twinkling wall of twilight.
Let's fly into it.
Let's go.
See, when I say gate or whatever here, these are in the physical sense portals that in basically there are sometimes people can open a portal, some are reliable and you can just go through or at set regular or semi-regular times. Those tend to be recorded and people know about them. Also, you can use things like teleport, dimension door, phase door. Get out. And some creatures can automatically get out. So yes, you've gone to a reliable one exit. So it's obviously for a privateering ship, great place to hang out. Reliable exit from a system. It's just being on it's just being on the interstate, isn't it? You're like, yeah, we'll check every car coming through here. Obviously, if someone has a mage with enough power to open a portal, great. But otherwise, they've got to come here.
We have
the Phlogiston. What's that?
We know how to get to Gray Space from here, right? Do we have to do navigation?
You have charts, yeah. I think the map. I will switch to the Phlogiston map in a second, which may necessitate me also dropping out of voicing again, depending on how Discord behaves. But yes, you have charts for that much because remember you found a number of charts over time.
Nice.
Haven't you? You found chart. I think we need to go through them again and check the list, but I think they are represented on the Phlogiston map that we've got.
Should we
Phlogiston,
sell some to makers and pretend that we wrote them ourselves?
Yeah. So, Vil, are you piloting the ship through the portal into the Rainbow Ocean?
We're done with our charting mission, right? We can move on to Grey Space now.
Well, I think this was still part of it. So part of it was taking routes to Grey Space and other stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah.
Then yes, off we go into.
Yeah. So yeah, the rainbow ocean of flammable ether called the Phlogiston, and it's the Phlogiston is both the material and the region. So as you come through. And the portal will eventually close behind you. This is both like everything between all spheres. You can see behind you this kind of solid, slightly reflective surface into this very luminous, inherently luminous substance. And this is everywhere. The ether is everywhere. And the principle of travel in the Phlogiston is that it basically where it is thickest, as it were, you can't travel, but where it is, or by thickest, most solid, we'll say. Whereas in other places it is more liquid and you can flow. You know, you can. It's like a river, and there are therefore established routes that don't go everywhere. You can't just be like, oh well, why don't we turn left? Because it's like saying, why don't we sail across dry land? You can't. Okay. And you can a living being can go into Phlogiston. But doesn't die, but basically falls into suspended animation. So you also can't just swim your way across there. Like, oh well, I will walk across it to get to an alternate route. It'd take you forever, but also you essentially need a bigger atmosphere that can sustain you. The advice, certainly the older hands on your ship and the guy from the cartographer's assistant will all make sure that every open flame is put out. I assume there was probably nothing particularly important that was in terms of fire, but if you have any fires, they need to be out. Yeah.
Yeah. My character's itching for a cigarette by the end of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, if only vapes had been invented, right?
Exactly.
1 second.
No.
That's what the glowing mist that we're travelling through is, Owen, of course.
Everything went quiet again. Is that just me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen's muted now.
Going. Gone.
He's gone for a vape. We can say whatever lies we want now.
The delicious taste of cancer, I guess. I don't know, I've never smoked.
Cancer, but steamed instead of fried.
Anywho.
So do we have any, other destinations set in sight for when we left this sphere? Is there anywhere we know about? Or we're just kind of wandering?
Hello.
Hello.
I hear all your vicious lies whilst I was away. By the way, hello to John Miller in the comments. Also, there's a guy. I'm afraid I missed your name. Obviously, someone who's you get to say has just fallen into the stream from watching random streams. Who asked, "WTF is this? WTF is this, guys? WTF?"
I mean,
boy, many sessions
I
in.
still don't know.
Out.
Well, the worst thing is this guy actually intentionally watched it because he thought it was an AD&D stream, but
Jokes on
he
you,
couldn't work it out.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, as I say, I very quickly improved the title and name, so it's not quite what it normally is. So maybe we've got some random people coming in, but I don't know what this is. But yes, so maybe that's the cunning plan. We'll become rich and we'll start getting all that sweet dictatorship sponsorship money in. Like Kyrgyzstan is on the hook right now, being like, please advertise our country and tell everyone that our crimes are not crimes.
We're not even like hoping for high viewer counts. It's just like it's got to be a small amount, but we're hoping for this one rich investor.
Yeah, what we're saying is if the Kyrgyz government will sponsor us to the tune of like, I don't know, 50 quid a year each, and enough to buy 3 beers in London.
Yeah, if anyone wants to fly us over to the United Arab Emirates for a party,
On an expenses paid trip to the work camp where they're building another stadium.
Okay. All right, well that's out then. Okay, we'll have to think of another country. Maybe I'll stop mentioning countries so that we don't get on their bad side for Owen saying stuff.
Yeah. I want to go there so I can explain what a good work program it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to make our favorite, pistachio flavored treats and stuff. So
exactly, somebody's got to do it. Okay, so yes, can you see on Roll20 now the map? That is your chart map. Those are your charts. You have a link. I think we need to check what other places were linked, but you did have realm space and grey space, which means have that kind of set of junctions. You can obviously travel off in any junction direction, but you do have a clear path through to realm space. Like in terms of you have a route there. And then from realm space, you have a clear route through to grey space.
Is pretty much every universe linked through this?
Yes, aside from the extreme difficulty of getting to Athos, which is a very long way away. Everywhere else is linked.
Is it possible that the real world is linked here too, so we could travel to here?
Somewhere, yes. Andrew met people from the real world just the other day in our game, actually.
Okay.
Did I?
We should go
I
there.
thought you were going to leave off the last word there.
okay, my head's starting to hurt now.
Yeah,
Our characters can meet ourselves.
We are in the D&D world at the moment. Did you know that?
Can I bring my character over here and then have her edit her character sheet so that she buffs all her stats and then leave?
No, this is more like only you can save mankind.
Hostage.
This is more like only you can save mankind by Terry Pratchett, or Ender's Game, obviously, which inspired only you can save mankind. Where you're playing a game, but it is actually consonant to the real world.
Yeah. Or potentially we could just have all of our characters surround Owen at his desk.
Take him hostage.
Yeah.
Make him give us cool items.
Yeah, you better describe some cool magic items now.
Yeah, I don't think that happened in Ender's Game, did it? Like the Formics all like transported using the power of story to Ender's computer. Sorry to spoil the ending of Ender's Game.
Yeah, Ender's Game is all like, God damn it! Why are you using these extreme critical hit tables, man? This is war crimes.
Yeah, that.
It got weird
that is
towards the
literally.
end.
Yeah, I was going to say that is literally the point of that book as well. So.
I've only seen
Ender's
the film. So.
The film tells you more or less the story of the book. You should read the book, but you should also read. He wrote Ender's Game, which is a great all-time great novel, because he wants to write its sequel, which is also an all-time great novel. Speaking for the Dead. Thoroughly recommend those two. And I feel like you'd have read the Ender's Game, the Ender's book at some point, or at least Ender's Game. Simon's not answering because he has never heard of Ender's Game.
I've read Ender's Game. I just haven't read any of his other novels.
I think Ender's Game would be more entertaining if the protagonist was a Twitch streamer and he was streaming something and saying stuff like "Am I cooked?" chats whenever something dramatic happens.
What is
We're so back.
It's your boy, Ender.
Hey, chat, can someone check page 5 of the Geneva Convention?
Yeah. Whenever the Formics counterattack him, you just start saying the literal word slur.
Yeah. And the aliens he's fighting is like, why are enemies like shouting about donations and stuff?
Yeah, if for every mega chat, I will wipe out one alien species in real life.
They get
You
shot
clearly
by
know
like,
much more about how Twitch works than me.
like as the space comet lasers coming. There's like a shout out for like thank you for the donation, 1,000 subscriber celebration.
Yeah. Great. So, could someone roll? I think 1d10 for how many days it's going to take you to travel through the flog.
What a D? What? Sorry.
I guess I'm the
A
pilot.
D10.
So I will roll it.
1d10. Yeah, you roll, Beach.
I rolled a
hang
10,
on, let me
so
just,
it's going to take us a long time.
So,
Real
yeah,
squad.
okay, so it's going
It's
to be 100 days. Do you have
It's a
enough?
leisurely trip. I take my time. I go the scenic route.
Is the major the quartermaster for this? Andrew, aren't you literally the quartermaster for this? So someone else?
Possibly.
Is it Alex the? Who has? You're all going to starve, and we're not even going to know it. We'll
Alex
check
might
next
have the
time.
actual
No, we will turn
details, if
around.
that's what you mean.
I think he had the spreadsheet. 100 days. That's a
Okay.
really long time.
We had our supplies written here, so we have 1,920 rations. But I'm not sure. I thought it was like a couple of months or so we had in terms of
Yeah.
the rations, realistically.
Ooh, you might need
We have
to
to stop on
put people on half rations.
Yeah, because
Yeah, the
basically we
flow
had
is
70
slow.
NPC. So we had 32 lots of I think the 60 rations was intended as 2 months rations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like everyone's on half rations then for the journey.
Yes.
Can we stop on
Because
a
we're going to have slightly less than
forest
60
world?
now.
Oh wait.
Can we stop?
Let me see if my genie can give us some food. This is like one of the situations that would be actually useful. No, I think the one from our other game could. This guy, unfortunately, is
I thought he had creation or something.
yeah. I've just got gust of wind, cloud kill, control weather, wind tune. Oh, but that is spells. It might still be. I might not list it down actually. Is he just a Jin standard by second edition rules?
Yeah.
Then if it's the same as Breezy, he'd have the create food and water. I check what it is. So,
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so he's got create nutritious food 2d6 per day. So he could, I suppose, make sure, maybe you just use that to make sure that everyone occasionally gets a full ration. Keep people cheerful.
Yeah. Is that 2d6 people's worth of food for the day?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So
if we're dealing with
as you're on 1d20s throughout, because you see, what we should do is Simon, roll 10d20.
10d20.
10 hashtag 1d20 is preferable, please.
10. I don't know if I'm a really hashtag person, but yeah, okay.
Isn't it just a hash?
10 hashtag.
Hashtag kill the formix.
10 hashtag 1d20 is what you want me to type in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, no encounter.
Wow.
It's a lot of not ones.
Nice.
Cheeky 20 in there, very good.
Cheeky 20. Oh well.
Yeah. Anyway, if we've got the create food water for 2d6, that could be. Well, actually, that's just vastly dependent on chance, isn't it?
You back, Owen?
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know. I've actually exited Roll20 just to, in case that's screwing around with me. But yes. So where did you lose me?
I think pretty much after the roll, really.
Okay, yeah, I said Jamie, roll 10. Do you want to roll 20d6 for how much food you made during that period?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Sorry, audience. Sorry, players. It's good, but my phone, Discord, and YouTube separately have problems today. So yeah, see, Jamie, probably the thing to do is add that much to the total that we have, and then we'll work out at the end of the journey. You know what I mean? We'll do it that way around.
Yeah. So
Because
1920 rations was what we had at the very start. So if we have, if I just put,
you'll be a few days down from that, but we'll take that. Alex probably has the up to date amount.
I can't. I'm just trying to interpret what we originally wrote, which was that I think it was.
It may well have been 2 months. Yeah.
More in terms of.
Sense.
Yeah, I think it looked like it was like 2 months worth. I think it was like we had like 17 NPCs.
You've actually filled out the crew, haven't you? You had your own group of NPCs, but then you also hired a bunch of crew, so you're up to over 30. Was the point?
Yeah, so that's why it came to 32. It was like I think I must have accidentally written like 17 and 16, but it must be some total of 32, and then that's why it comes to the 32 times 60.
Yeah, equals 1920. Yeah, that makes sense. Andrew, could you roll the next 10d20? What I think one thing you'd missed was, more or less all you missed was, I think, you need a 1 in 20 to take an encounter, because the modifiers are from the base 1 in 20 are all planetary system kind of things. So, you know, like, are you on the same track as a planet? Are you on the inner ring? Are you in a patrolled space? So usually you're actually going to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, there are no ones there, which is the relevant point. Jamie, roll another 10d6. Cool. Okay, so add the 35 as well. Tom, 10 #1d20.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. That is a weird die roll. Okay, look, we got 6 4 5s, and then 4 2s, and then 1. That is a very strange set of results.
Ooh.
I also got
Tom is
1.
about to get you all killed. Ooh. Tom, roll another d100. We're into the subtables now.
Oh god.
Phlogiston counts. The first time in the campaign, 80. 80 is chips.
Chips.
Could be bad. Could be quite bad. Could you roll? You want 2d100s because you want rarity and then you want type. So yeah, 1d100 for rarity, 1d100 for type.
14.
14.
And
it is
95.
Rare. 95.
That's some swingy rolls, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, I know Jamie was pointing out that you did have 6 4 5s, 4 2s, and a 1 in his previous roll.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yes. So as you continue sailing along in the flow, you know, each day someone is getting, like, a couple of the members of the crew get an extra ration, like a full ration, just to keep them cheerful. Or a couple of people, you know, just to keep everyone a bit more cheerful. The Iron Tornado is now literally the most popular member of this crew, whereas like Vil and the Major, you know, seeing as the authority figures, their price gone down for only having bought 2 months of food. Whereas the Iron Tornado, basically, if he wanted to stage a mutiny, he could.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
We're one half ration away from immunity.
Yeah. And you're thinking, it is so good. This is a Jinn and not a Dow or an Ifrit. I did. As Andrew will remember, we did have an Ifrit. I actually got to have an Ifrit maliciously execute a wish to the letter in a way that was incredibly bad once.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. It was. And did I misinterpret that wish at all? Could anyone convict me in a court of having misinterpreted the wish?
No, but I mean, I'm not the one who made the wish, so I'm good on that.
What was the wish?
Andrew's angry like 4 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the wish?
The
wish
wish was like
was
to help everyone.
Yeah, it was.
It was like to help
Bring
everyone
the
escape.
cockpit and everyone on it to where we are, or something like that.
That was it. But
I think it was
there was
transport
someone.
us and everyone. It was transport our part, and because one part of the party got off on a flying carpet. So transport our party and the flying carpet and everyone on it to the nearby town. From the bad
we had a
situation
stowaway.
Thing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Had an evil vampiric drow, like ancestral drow.
Yeah,
drow.
we accidentally fleed something evil and ancient.
Oh, nice.
I mean, not we, because it wasn't my fault, and I'm standing by
It
that.
wasn't mine.
I wanted to
Yeah.
kill everyone.
So
okay, I see.
you will see ahead of you in the flow that there is what looks like a snake ahead of you in the flow, but like not literally a snake, but like it kind of seems to sinuously move backwards and forwards, and you see lots of little links or units in this thing. It doesn't, it doesn't necessarily look like an animal.
So it could be a ship in the shape of a snake.
Well, he said we rolled on the ship table.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't look natural. It is moving.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an animal.
Or like a snake mecha,
Mecha snake.
Yeah, snake mecha would count as a ship.
Mecha snake.
Should we signal them or just quietly walk away? Can we tell how big they are and how close they are to us?
Can we extend the comedically large snake hook from our ship?
Well, you don't have a spyglass, which is a problem for you. But it is. Do I have a... Right. Yeah, I've got. I do have keel length. I mean, the overall thing is. Okay, so it's the total estimated keel length would be over 200 feet long. It's enormous, but individually quite like the beam is only about 10 foot. It's very narrow.
Shall we have the Iron Tornado go and check it out?
Again, he'll get close. Obviously, he will not kind of go and engage and do stuff himself, but he'll happily come and tell you what's happening there.
Yeah, if he's willing to just take a closer look, not necessarily put himself in much danger, ideally.
At least see if it's artificial, or if it's living, or if there's people.
Yeah, or if there is any heraldry up close that we can't see from here, that kind of thing.
There is an important point there. Of course,
Any
some ships are natural. By the way, on the note of that, some ships are not animals, but they are plants. Some fairly important kinds of ships. But yes, the Iron Tornado will fly a bit closer and report that it seems to be lots and lots of wagons behind some sort of smallish vessel pulling it at the front.
Okay. Do they look like?
But the smallest vessel is the largest part of it. Like the bit at the front is about 30 foot long, so it's much bigger than the whereas the wagon's like 10 foot long. And it's a kind of small. It's a metal contraption that looks like it has. He'll describe some sort of engine or boiler or something at the back.
It's a train.
Choo choo. He says that the wagons seem to have there's lots of different things in different ones. Some of them appear, though he tried to stay at extreme range, some of them appear to have weaponry in them. But several of the others, he saw what looked like shining metals, stone, things like that.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching this stream and they're wondering where their Southern Rail train went, which never came, this is probably where it ended up.
Because all universes are connected via the flow,
space train
including
now.
our own.
Naturally. Yeah.
Should we fly over then?
I guess.
Yeah.
Fly closer.
Yeah.
If you wish to go closer, you may. Yeah. You'll see that what the Antonio says is confirmed. I guess. I'll check its rating because I don't think it's going particularly.
Maybe they have
Faster
a
than you.
buffet cart.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe they have like a little trolley that goes up and down.
Yeah, I hope they have an omelet station.
Anything from the trolley?
You'll come closer, and you'll have this report confirmed. I'll just see. Let's see. Initially, though you see there look like there are a couple of ballistae on some of these wagons, none of them are manned or trained. You can see a few figures around, quite relatively small figures, gnomes or dwarves or halflings perhaps. You can't see anyone outside at the front on the kind of, they call it the loco.
Are we able to match?
No one seems to. At the moment, you can, yeah.
We could take a rope down, maybe. Do the wagons look like you can go from one to the other along it?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, anyone want to come with me? Take a rope down.
Sam will come, yeah.
Yeah, assuming that we're just, saying hi and not holding them up, sure, yeah. Yeah.
You all got your rail cards?
Yeah. We don't want to get no-ticketed out of the door.
Yeah. The thing is, now the inspectors only allow you to use an app, but the app is usually broken.
That sounds about right.
And also,
is
you have to
actually
take their Wi-Fi.
Some of my fellow Britbongs will have seen that. That was a court case, of course. That was a specific thing about like.
Oh really? Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bunch of things where I think people have been. I think it's a group case of several people being fined, and but because like the app wasn't working.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
They couldn't prove they had a rail card or something mad like that. It was something to do with obviously it was a systematic abuse of like the thing, which doesn't surprise you when you were like yeah.
Yeah, and even if the online thing's just an option, it's probably they shouldn't be able to fine you if the app breaks.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
What were we going to say?
I think that was. So it sounded like Sam, Andrew. Who are you sending down?
The major, I guess. Yeah.
Yep, Sam, the Major, and Jamie. Who are you sending down?
I'll bring down Morthilla and the Iron Tornado.
Simon, are you sending anyone down on this away mission?
Yeah, Ichabod will go.
Sounds like what's. I was going to say, to be fair, Thumb actually is like the weapons master. He's the artillerist on the ship, isn't he? So.
I'll collect a groan as
He's also
Ichabod
less
steps up.
expendable.
Yeah. Bees, you don't currently have, I think, a second character rolled up. Do you?
I still haven't made a second character.
Oh, you do?
I think I rolled stats, but I never went the rest of the way.
Yeah. You could be
I watch.
random.
I'll play one of the chatters.
Oh, one of the chatters gets sent down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I feel like we need to bring one of them like as a mascot, you know, to like ease the atmosphere a bit.
Yeah, no one could be angry at us having done all their stuff if there's a chatter there. A little smiling kind of lemur monkey sloth raccoon.
Just, but
Yeah,
just
and if we want
throwing
to
its poop everywhere.
point, we need a robot and a furry animal friends to help advertise that.
Yep. Great. So yeah, I guess you can come closer, you know, by having having match speed with them, and having come closer. You can, yes, I guess, start lowering down the party onto. Well, I mean, there's lots of wagons. There's some which have little kind of cabin covers, but with a ballista on. There's 3 of those, and then the others seem to have stone. Some seem to have shining metal, goldish shining metal, silver shining metal, dull silver shining metal. Yeah. Where do you want to land? Where do you want to land?
Well, obviously we're first class passengers, so we should go to the gold one, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So you come down. It is a 10 by 10. So I was going to say that's one thing. It's obviously initially only 4 of you can land it. It's a 10 by 10 wagon. It is wheeled. It looks like it's something that can be pulled along ground probably as well, and then presumably attached to this. It has quite cool sides. So when I say it's 10 by 10, it's like 10 by 10 by 30 or something. It's genuine, or 20. It's genuinely quite tall. There's lots of stuff in there, and I would say you can see in some of the others. I should add, probably there's also some of them have what look like tools and stuff in there as well. But yes, you go off in. Whoever's going first, presumably the fighters, and yeah, it looks like gold ingots.
Oh,
We shouldn't take this.
it's a trap, isn't it? It's clearly a trap. And there's been any sign of life on this suspicious
You've
gold-laden
seen
train?
some diminutive figures like dwarfs, halflings, or gnomes moving in the weapons carriages. You haven't seen anything moving in the locomotive, but that's because it's sealed. So,
Okay. Have we had just 4 of us land here?
there is Sam, the Major, Morthilla, and Ichabod have landed, and one of the chatters can probably go on the fence because they're small. The Iron Tornado can fly.
Okay. Can we
Well,
go
the
to one of
chatter,
the
yeah.
weapons places to go speak to some of the people hanging around there first before we do anything else?
Before we start
Yeah.
robbing them,
This very clearly belongs to somebody.
No, well, we got to tell them that we're the rail replacement service and that we're going to take these goods for them.
rail replacement means we replace you having these carriages with you not having these carriages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we move the rails, but don't
Whereas,
replace
like,
them, and then
We've
you
got to
crash.
take the cargo for them, haven't we? That's what we've been sent to do.
Yeah. We're here
Or
to relieve you of duty. You can just go home. It is in a haunting echo, both the very first privatised rail service in 1996 and the first of the new Great British Rails rail services in 2025 were both actually rail replacement buses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
auspicious.
I heard about that. That was quite funny.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme.
Yeah.
And in this case, it literally repeated itself. Disproving that truism. Great. So yeah, you'll go along, and probably, but as you're closer, the gnome who is present, technically on watch, will see you. Act for a 12. And who's in front? Morthilla, what is your charisma? What's your reaction modifier under charisma?
+2.
Costly, so that goes to a 10. So yeah, he will leap to his ballista and start banging on the kind of metal bunker below, from which he's come up, and you'll start to hear movement coming up from there.
I think he thinks we're robbing him. We should probably try and convince him that we're not.
We are, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've not done anything yet.
Yeah, I point to the wagon with the gold in it and say, "Oh, we're here to do cash up."
He looks baffled as a couple more gnomes begin to arrive with wheel-lock pistols.
Well, we're not robbing you. We just don't have signalling flags.
Anyway, I
just
say,
making.
forget what I said. We're here to. We come in peace. Clearly, your gear's rather worse for wear. We've been traveling all on our own for almost 100 days. Our crew is starving. We've been looking for any sign of life whatsoever.
We know where we are.
Yeah, this is day 20. This is day 21 of your journey. And you're like, we've been travelling for years, lost in the flow.
Yeah. We somehow know that we're going to be travelling for 75 more days alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they will probably think this is somebody else's problem and that person, I think. And will maintain their ranged weapons, trained on you, and be telling you to keep your distance. One of the two wheel-lock armed gnomes will actually go below and to communicate with the yawl at the front, with the locomotive unit at the front. So yeah, they will say that they have enough food, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm sorry that we came up to you so suddenly. We kind of assumed you were friendly, considering that the whole time we got on board, you couldn't man your weapons and you didn't really seem to spot us. So sorry we came off the wrong way.
Yeah, the guy at the ballista is like, that sounds like you're criticising my performance, and I take exception to that.
It's not your performance.
The lady next to him is like, at least train robbers, they just honestly start stealing your stuff and shooting at you. But these kind of like train criticisers.
That's what we are. Yes, we're travelling train criticisers.
Yeah, you're like mystery shoppers, mystery restaurant, like restaurant critics who come anonymously.
We're white hat highwaymen. We raid trains just to see how just to like provide security advice.
Yeah, I bring in the new character, restaurant reviewer from Ratatouille.
Yeah. We're now going to charge you all of your gold for the service of having been white hat train robbers. Do you know why it'd be great if Jay were on this? We're playing this Arc of Spelljammer because he was present when our friend Josh came back and said, "Oh, a man came up to me in Amsterdam and said, oh, a man came up to me and kind of started me into a corner and asked me if I had any cash so that he could go and get something." And I gave him the cash and we're like, you were mugged. That was a mugging. That wasn't a man asking you for money. That was literally mugging.
You can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I think it was. I think he understood that this was not an optional donation to this man's requirements, but it's all done very politely. He'd already bought the orange juices and croissants, so at least we had those.
It's like those stories of like people robbing banks by just walking in and then. This doesn't work in real life, by the way. Just as a display.
Do this.
Believe me, we tried.
And then just passing a note through asking for money.
Yep. I don't think that's how they did it in Heat. To be fair.
In the what?
In Heat. Have you not seen Heat?
I've not seen that. No.
Michael Mann.
You know we haven't seen any films. You have to keep bringing it up.
I think there's a time and place for phrase in Heat, guys.
Beach unmuted, I think, just to make it clear he had nothing to say about the film Heat, starring Val Kilmer, the late film.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention, yes, Heat. It's a well-known film, but obviously that doesn't matter to people who don't watch anything.
These people.
These people.
Yeah.
They don't even watch Zulu.
Plebs.
Just call us troglodytes. We know it's what you're thinking.
Yeah. He is just Zulu, but in the modern day.
Yeah, it's like if Zulu was the Zulus are bank robbers, and Michael Caine is played by Al Pacino.
That's the most inherently confusing sentence I've ever heard.
I think Al Pacino should play as Michael Caine in everything.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be very amusing.
Man in his 80s plays as man in his 90s from now on. Great.
Okay, I think I'm going to put my hand up and start backing off.
Yeah.
Say, do in peace if that is what you wish. But I can offer you a big barrel of ale if you want.
I don't think they're very interested. No. Yeah, you guys definitely could have just robbed some gold from this without alerting them because they were surprised.
We still can. We still can.
Yeah.
I think
they are now alerted. So there's that. Great. So yeah, are you going back up the rope, or what are you doing?
Well,
yeah, I guess.
To be fair, my alignment is good. I do think, just robbing some random innocent people would be in breach of that.
I would say Simon has not yet done this, but Simon definitely could have been sending me messages saying I tried to pickpocket loads of gold because his character who sent was conveniently his evil character.
Yeah, but he's incompetent.
Yeah. Damn it! I should have sent the thief.
The thing is, Ichabod is so relaxed about the end of the world that he's not in any way trying to speed it up, including via doing crime.
No, and he's not preparing for it particularly either. He's just talking about it. He is.
Yeah. You have suggested before it's not actually completely clear. Like, obviously, Gaston does believe in Romanos and the slow end of the world. It's not that Ichabod does, from what you said. Ichabod might just be like some sociopath who's intentionally making other people uncomfortable.
Yes, he is at heart, although he denies it. He's a screw.
Yeah, at heart, yeah. Great. So yes, so pretty much once you're off it, it bolts ahead. It kind of goes up to 6 times the current speed, as in it maxes out at SR 6 in its current configuration. So it disappears. It speeds up over whatever the number of rounds it needs to, but yeah, it speeds up very rapidly and disappears into the flow. Great. Are we in the right thing? Yes.
Poor guys, but at least we gained some Fallout karma.
Yeah. Jamie, do you roll 2d6 the amount of food you created in that period of time?
4 food.
4. Not very many foods. Oh, sorry. My mistake. Can you do another 18d6 because it's 10 days at that time?
Sure.
Slightly harsh. I'm like, yeah, you only get 2d6 every 10 days, like 4 expressions. Oh wow.
Still
that's more like
66 cases.
No, but 64. Okay. Who's next? Simon, do you want to roll another 10 #1d20?
10 #1d20. Oh, that's not a hash, that's a squiggle.
A tilde, I believe they call it.
A tilde is the correct. There is 1-1. 1-1.
Another one.
So far.
I was going to say you've got 2 in 40, so you've got half the expectancy. Half the absolute expectancy.
One.
D100 Phlogiston chart, please. D100.
D100. Simon. And the answer is 96.
It's a black hole.
Yeah, okay. Swingy rolls.
A beholder with 96 eyes.
Yeah, the 96 eye beholder. Can you roll another D100? Can you roll basically 2 D100s in close order?
Yeah. And we have an 8, and we have a 25.
Yay!
Yeah.
That is number one.
It does sound like a number one solution, doesn't it?
Demonetized again.
Yeah, the word wang on its own. Everything else, like the thing where we're claiming we're working as like whitewashers for the Kyrgyz government for all their crimes. YouTube's like, yeah, to be fair, that's the kind of stuff we do. Whereas, yeah, as soon as the word wang comes up, they're like, nah.
Yeah, well, if you say it really fast, it's like talking about that Jack Vance novel, you know?
Yeah. Indeed. That, I mean, or Lovecraft's cat. Lots of.
Yeah.
Do you think the Google AI has the phrase Lovecraft's cat kind of tracked? For someone who's being offensive, I mean.
AI. All right.
The YouTube AI, sorry, not Google AI.
All right. I don't know. You'll have to
We'll find
test
out.
it out.
Yeah. There's only one way to know, and we're going there now. Yeah.
Oh, one actually is. I don't know if this is. I mean, I feel like. Okay, Clark Ashton Smith's mum had a kind of funny name, but I'll say after stream. It's probably fine anyway, but no point making it worse. If it were my channel, I'd be happy, but I can't demonetize someone else's videos.
Yeah, I mean the amount of videos for these, the pennies on the pound would not be greatly missed.
Owen, I shall send you 3 pence over my bank account.
Yeah. Ever since I demonetized your Spelljammer videos and lost you a few pennies each video. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Yes. You'll be traveling. Continue to travel, and you'll then see off the main flow. This is literally 10 days later. Time later, you will see just off the main flow. What looks again like a groundling ship, quite like a fairly small vessel. I think I mean, medium-ish size, 40 foot long, and it with it's 1.5 decks. It has 2 masts, 1.5 decks. It looks like a groundling ship again. It seems to be, though not literally physically drifting, you describe it or feel like it was adrift, just off the flow.
You call it a sloop, or is it more of a schooner?
Yeah, like a sloop or a pinnace, Pinnace.
Excuse me?
Jamie. Yes, exactly.
What?
Yeah. But yes, a sloop.
Well, let's take a look at it through our spyglass. Damn it!
How many illithids are visible on the deck of this ship?
We see the thing, and then the entire crew just looks at the Iron Tornado again. Like, well,
Yeah.
here you go.
That's an interesting question as to whether or not he's willing to do that.
You just gotta take a little peeky.
Yeah, how much free will does the average djinn have anyway?
Oh, he has plenty of free will. The question is, he might be willing to do this. The question is about whether or not he's willing to kind of, how far he's willing to go across because this isn't on the main flow either. I think it doesn't matter because I think the issue about Phlogiston, I think, is still about air. Castaways in the flow. Let's go and check that. Because he doesn't need to breathe. That's the point. That's the thing we established to do with why he can go across space in his own. Yep, it's until air runs out would be, and then it's preserved. The idea is that rather than in wild space, you would suffocate. In the Phlogiston, you are kind of put in aspic, basically. So yeah, in that case, he will be willing to go. I was checking whether or not he'd be bothered by it being off the flow, but he has his own motive power, I guess. So that's probably fine. He can just fly across and come back. He would again go some of the distance. He's not going up to it because obviously he's like, well, if there's stuff that's armed there, I don't want to come within range. But he'll go half the distance or whatever. and say, yeah, there appear to be figures on the deck, but kind of maybe dead, recumbent. There is a lot of cargo lashed down.
Salvage.
Now these people we can rob.
Salvage rates.
Yep.
Legitimate salvage.
They were dead when we got here. It's fine.
I mean, yeah.
Let's float over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, though you can stop in the flow, if you come off the flow, you won't have any ability to move. You rely on the flow to spelljam along.
Well, we have a grappling hook.
We do have a grappling hook.
Tug the ship.
Pilot guys are chasing coming.
Can we tug their ship back into the flow?
No, actually, this bit is a bit like the race. Yeah, you could potentially do that. This is more like one of those races in Red Dead Redemption. So you've got to like start dealing with the really Yankee controls as you're trying to like turn the wagon around corners. Encounters, evasions.
I'm probably one of the 0.1% of people who haven't played that game, so I assume.
Has everyone else played that game?
I know about it. But
I haven't played it either.
I haven't played the second one, but I played the first one.
I haven't played the. I would like, kind of like to theoretically. 14 hexes away. So that is 4,200 yards. So,
Oh, sorry, I just need to change the camera
so
back to alternate.
and that is. Let's say head and left. So I'm just thinking what it's going to represent in this case, because they don't give a separate kind of thing about Phlogiston distances, but so you can halve that distance to about 2,000 yards before the flow ends. So you can't grapple across, because that would be about 17 yards grapple across.
Could we use the what's the word for the momentum of when you're pushing against something?
Inertia.
Inertia. Can we use the inertia of various stinking cloud spells to get us across?
If I think you only had one, but I'm not sure that would work now.
No. Okay.
I mean, you could repeatedly drop fireballs behind you and use the explosion of the actual Phlogiston to push you forward.
What?
I
Like
think that sounds like the most
Possibly.
environmentally friendly version. But yeah, we could use the whirlwind ability of the Iron Tornado. The Iron Tornado.
Is there a solution to everything?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, does movement in this work kind of like zero gravity? Do we tend to lose velocity when having been pushed? Obviously, I suppose. Yeah, it depends. Plenty of magic mists to break our momentum.
So I'm just.
Imagine you probably maintain momentum quite well.
Yeah.
I think so.
I feel like we could ask the Iron Tornado perhaps to use this whirlwind, and I mean,
Do you think it's?
wait, how far do we need to go?
Well, he's trying to reach the ship that is like off the lane. Do we think that maybe what happened is they just got stranded? They just like died because they couldn't get back.
That could have happened.
Pack enough food.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just like a bit like zero gravity in real life, I could just ask the Iron Tornado to push the ship politely, or use gust of wind or something. Because of the fact that,
like I was saying, because he can,
they can move.
if he
as
can
though
propel
they're-
himself,
Yeah,
then he can fly over to their ship and literally just put the grappling hook on their railing, and we can just pull them. Right.
that is a good idea. Yeah.
I was going to say you surely do not have enough rope. I mean, do you? Do you have like 6,000 feet of rope? I don't think so.
No,
Is that how far out of
We
the?
have like 30 foot of rope.
2,000
Yeah.
yards. Yep. 2,000 yards.
Okay. But yeah, what I mean is because genies can fly essentially as though that in a magical way, mobility class A, without needing to use wings or like pushing air to gain momentum. Do you think that they could kind of actually push a ship with their flight, possibly?
I mean, it'd require like a good amount of strength. I guess. I mean, he could use his whirlwind. I guess to try to do that.
I'm happy to ask him to do that.
This is stuff that it'll be worth checking into some of the nuances, because obviously this situation doesn't come up until it does, and so I will revise the nuances for next time, I guess, to be like, yes, this is what happens in terms of people going off the flow. It's also that thing with the Spelljammer books, you're like, I'm looking at all the rules for movement here, but it doesn't mention this case, and you're like, oh, that's because the way that in the original Spelljammer set they divide information is unhelpful.
Yeah.
Like just occasionally you're like, oh yeah, actually this information is kind of described in a different section.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll double check one thing, but
Okay, so
yeah.
The whirlwind will last. So it's maneuverability class A, max speed 18. Well, the base has to touch water or solid surface. Oh, but I guess it can touch the ship, so if that counts.
As in, he can touch the ship?
It has to touch water
whirlwind,
or
would that
solid
work?
surface.
Could he then still use it on the because then surely he'd just leave the ship with the whirlwind, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so it does move at the genie's whim.
Yeah, it sounds like that might have a. Essentially, I guess, can it be oriented sideways? Can it have its plane sideways and then kind of be like a little fart behind it, a gigantic fart machine pushing it along?
Yeah, I mean, we're in space. Sideways can be wherever you want.
I think it's a gravity plane running along the middle of the
Yeah.
ship, but more I'm thinking, if the solid surface can actually be the back of the ship, I guess that would work.
Yeah, I think the only thing is it's quite a destructive spell. I don't know if it's meant to actually start destroying
Things underneath it.
or like
I think the thing is, it's kind of meant to be that you're on top of it and you're fine. That's how you used it in the Stolen City, didn't you?
Yeah. To be fair, in my defense, I feel like if this is so destructive that we're going to use siege rules and have it damage the ship, I feel like maybe the genie ought to, or maybe if it isn't, then it should.
I was going to say the genie. I think I mean the genie would obviously be not super enthusiastic around destroying it, but it depends what you're asking him to do.
Well, what I mean is more like if the genie isn't able to push the ship himself. I was trying to think.
It's basic tonnage.
How is it?
For reference, its basic tonnage is 5 tons, and it has cargo too. So I don't think the strength efficient to push that.
You don't think it'd be efficient?
No, sufficient. As in, I don't think he has the strength to push like 9 tons. No.
Oh, yeah, the question I had was more like how. So is it because of the magical mist and stuff? It's a bit more like pushing something through water rather than pushing.
Yeah. It's treacle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah.
It's not kind of on water where that's helping kind of spread its weight. It's not just
water.
I think you'd feel if you were grappled on that if you did actually have a line to it, then probably that you could pull it. But yeah, sorry, Beach, what were you saying?
We have the Tornado simply bring one crate over just so we can see what kind of cargo they have.
Yeah, he could pick up a crate of stuff. That'd be fine.
So according to his descriptions, the whirlwind is Muse 18, maneuverability class A. We could stick it to the back a bit like a speedboat engine. It lasts just as long as the genie concentrates on it, moving at the creature's whim. It takes a turn to form. You can form it once per day. So, in theory, we could just have this go for as long as we want. I mean, potentially, if it's gonna possibly damage the ship, we could always just have it like a distance where it's enough to push the ship in whatever direction.
Yeah, I was going to say, certainly, I think if you want him to bring over a single crate, I think that's the suggestion to begin with. Then I guess it will do that. And let's find a random generator for this. The generators you realise you need.
The useless item generator.
Yeah, it's not useless. I mean, it's goods, isn't it? It's goods.
It's a crate of hats.
Yeah. Well, you could sell them. You could just steal loads of stuff, couldn't you?
They're really ugly hats.
So roll a d4 Beach. The Iron Tornado will report that the figures on deck, he didn't check them, he wasn't asked to, but appeared to be human. They were quiescent, lying down. It has this crate has a number of 25-pound pots of olive oil in it, and it has small jars of olive oil.
So that was just like straight up trade good merchants.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, obviously here, obviously different things will be worth different stuff, but it's probably the total goods, depending on what they have, the total goods probably are worth a large amount.
Okay,
I mean the real prize in terms of value, the real prize is their ship, right? If they have a Spelljammer.
Okay, but if we're in front of the crew, we're going to say that the real prize is the olive oil, because the calories per, centimeter cube that this stuff is a lot better for feeding people stuck on half rations.
Yep.
Is it normal olive oil or is it extra virgin?
I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, it's the kind of thing Morthilla would know. Yeah, it's like I cook a lot. I know the difference.
Oh my! She is never going to recover from that, Owen. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just
wow. I think that
you just label it. You just label it as higher quality than it is and sell it that way.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you want to do?
That's what everyone does.
Yeah, just make sure it's got to be like in a tinted container, so they can't tell how much olive solids actually in it.
That is actually more or less how it's sold as well, though. You have noticed, not even posh olive oil is like in really, translucent containers.
I don't know if it's actually done to help preserve it, but that might just be a myth. But yeah, let's make the containers tinted green so it looks more olivey.
Yeah, it looks like olives. People are like, that's not what olive oil.
It may be
it is
susceptible to UV, so you might want it to be a tinted thing.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine there's a good reason. That was a bad reason.
Can we
take?
Do
you have any ideas?
Like deep
you can take the olive oil, yeah.
We need to have.
You have. Yeah.
We have brought forth supplies from the winelands.
Yeah. So I dropped voice. I typed up. You have 0.1 ton of olive oil.
Nice. Yeah, because just like calorie wise,
Just
so
be
much.
making people drink oil neat, raw.
Well, no. But if we use it to
Oh,
supplement the
you
rest,
like extra virgin olive oil, do you? You're into posh food, are you? Well, why don't you just drink it then?
we're going to bring up
But
all
your
your
calorie
rations
count's
into
really
a nice
high.
Caesar salad with some olive oil, toss it up together. It's just mostly oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bowl of oil with like hardtack and half an orange.
Yeah. They start having Turkish oil wrestling on the boat.
No, that's going to get us banned from YouTube.
Okay, that will get banned, actually.
Yeah, it was where I think it's the first time I worked in Bethlehem for a summer. There's a thing where like what I often got fed at the place I worked, as well as any place we were hosted, was like rice and some vegetables in vine leaves, usually with no meat. And there was a point where like you just kind of, I think it's the kind of thing you get. Which, oh, this is quite nice food, and then it tips over into literally I like vine leaves all the time, and they're not actually that great. I'm not a cow. I'm not a gazelle. Yeah. So that is what you're essentially trying to ration people into with this olive oil, isn't it? Like, just everyone just ends up being like, I'm not actually hungry anymore. You're like, great. That means more rations for the rest of us.
That's it, guys. The Holy Land is not all it's cracked up to be. Stop fighting over it. It's all just vine leaves, okay?
Yeah.
Come to England, you can have a nice,
Yeah.
steak pie. You'll have a much better time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least you didn't say pork pie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie's peacemaking, pork pies and insulting local cuisine.
All I said was that ham was good enough for Jehovah.
Yeah. Is this when Taliban turns up?
I feel like I've opened up a floodgate by early on mentioning this topic, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to say any more because we'll get demonetized. I'm not going to say any more words than those 3 numbers. And then, like, through the rest of the stream, the rest of you guys, just like every single, you're practically begging for like a Charlie Hebdo part 2 at this rate.
Money is what weak people have.
Yeah.
Anywho, how about that disfavored nationality?
Okay. Were there any other supplies?
He's gone.
He's back to Bethlehem.
Let it be on the record that Jamie is starting to threaten other members of the cast, and we're going to have a very, very dramatic all-hands meeting afterwards. There's going to be tears. Eventually, Jamie will kill us, and this will be over. Great. Are you doing anything else with the ship, or are you just robbing a certain amount of olive oil from it?
We wanted to rob the ship itself, but we don't have the means to, so I think we just have to leave it.
Wait, why would we not have the means to?
Well, we can't tow it, can we? 'Cause it's too heavy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
but
remember, it's like 6,000 feet away, and the Iron Tornado is not strong enough to push 9 tons of ship.
Okay, but can we just use the whirlwinds to bring our ship over?
Well, isn't the concern here about the fact that the whirlwind has to start on a solid surface, and so
Right, of course, because like if it's
you can't find and be like, oh yeah, it's just going to push us really fast, and then he'll bring it round and push it. It has to be on your ship or on their ship.
Yeah, because I was thinking like we have a
siege damage.
our ship in the whirlwind, but then obviously it doesn't have anything to stick to, and then even if we have like a rope to a pallet or something, the pallet's just going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
What if everyone stands at the end of the poop deck and just blows really hard?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I was going to say, so any other, apart from abandoning this, any other ideas? Anything else you want to do? Or are you abandoning this?
Just have the Iron Tornado, and I, have a look and see if there's anything else worth stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like you could give me a piggyback ride or something.
Yeah. He can take you over because he has a. You also have your own air envelope. So what's relevant is you have an air envelope, and that lasts for a certain amount of time. So I'm trying to. We did work this out, didn't we? Is it because we had to work this out on the metal moon that you were like, great, this is like.
Yeah.
This is valuable resources. We'll mark this.
Yeah, and that's when we did the exact calculation for a hippopotamus's air pocket. How long?
And then we found out that Andrew was lying to us anyway.
He's not.
I wasn't lying. I was just stupid.
Accurate.
Wow, don't all argue against that at once.
Yeah, there's just a horrendous silence as someone insults themselves, and you're like, "Oh, this is awkward." Traveling in, where's air quality? That's what I want.
Yeah, I think we need to be a bit more like female friendship groups here. We need to sort of be more like, no, Andrew, you're not stupid or bad. You're a third thing I have yet to determine.
Okay, Jamie, you have 2d10 turns worth of air.
Okay.
So 2d10, please.
Right. Yes.
Double one.
That's
It could have.
It's not a dice.
That is 2s10.
16.
8.
So yeah, he has. I said, well, you'll have plenty of time, and you'll abstract a locked seaman's chest from the captain's cabin, and you will find a couple of pieces of jewelry in one of the state cabins. The bed of which a beautiful woman is recumbent, asleep, dead. You don't know.
Can I just give her like a slap?
No.
Oh, okay, right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Ichabod just chucks in a slap.
Can I just note these things?
Ichabod slaps Morthilla. Ichabod slaps Morthilla and tells Morthilla to slap the first person she sees.
Not slapping anyone. So locked chest from the shipwreck.
Yes. So yeah, you can carry those up. You can carry the necklaces, and you can carry like the piece of jewelry. Sorry, like necklace and river, and the locked chest. You can carry those up.
I have a feeling this is going to be like a banshee that just insta kills us when she wakes up. But no, I mean, how disheveled does this ship look? Like, does it look like it's? I mean, it's probably hard to tell in space, isn't it? Is there any
it's in
fresh
reasonable
food?
conditions. So the sails look like they've been partially torn off, and some of the stuff on the deck looks like it's been like the moor has been torn loose. Otherwise, it looks pretty intact. The bodies you see on the ship look reasonably intact.
Okay. And does the crew number look to be like roughly a dozen?
What would tear the sails in space? Is it just like? Has there been a fire explosion? There's no burning, is there?
Pish?
No sign of burning.
Okay, did the wind just blow out the space wind just blow out?
You see 5 humans. You've got about 3 hours, so searching it, and obviously I'm assuming you're not like in this because you're like, oh, just go and check for these things. You're not spending turns checking for secret doors in every room or anything, obviously. But yeah, you will be able to identify five humans on it in different areas of the ship. One on a helm, one in a bedroom, the rest on the deck. So yeah.
Okay, and is there any food, for example, on the ship that would be spoilable if it were left for like more than a week?
There is food in the mess. Yeah. There is Breezy can probably. Wrong genie. The Iron Tornado will be able to identify that the air here. There's no air. There's kind of the air has been stripped from this.
Like stuff wouldn't have been spoiling because they ran out of atmosphere.
You're right. Yeah.
And it's in the Phlogiston at this point as well, so it's being preserved potentially. But yeah, I mean, you can come back and report this. We should probably finish in a second, but any final questions or final actions for this session?
Who's
Could
not
we, like,
spoiled? I say we take it.
give them like a space burial or something.
I think they've just had a space burial, haven't they?
I mean, I don't know what the appropriate last rites are if you find a ship full of corpses.
I have a few. Gust of wind, control weather, airwalk, wind tomb, and whirlwind. I think they would all be pretty cool for a space burial.
Just like sling them off in like random directions into deep space.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not quite as poetic as firing them into the heart of the sun, but
Yeah.
see what we can get.
Yeah. Well, if I do have any time left over after these things, I think I'll just have a quick look around for any unaccounted for spaces that would imply a secret chamber, as well as looking for any desks or chests or drawers that might have a false bottom, and then just trying to check for those.
As I say, I'm assuming that's given that you have a limited amount of air, and you know that you'll pick up loose stuff and be checking the whole ship, you know, for the people and stuff. So I'm assuming that's what you spent your time on, rather than rolling.
Okay, that's fine.
Check.
Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing with the? Your conversation you had
With what? Sorry.
Doing with the what? Sorry.
people.
Other people.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just cast Cure Light Wounds on the woman, see if anything happens, because I mean, I'll get the spells back at the end of the day. So.
You go over to her.
Seems optimistic.
Once she is in your air bubble, she wakes up.
Huh?
And that hasn't
which
happened
is
with
probably a
anyone else.
good place to leave the session.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
Cool. I'm gonna and stop the stream.
How romantic.
Cool. How concerning.
It's the opposite of concerning, because she's not dead anymore.
Yeah, that is a net gain.
That's assuming she's not dead currently.